Hello, beautiful trading community. Let's talk about how to draw trend lines. First, we're going to look at types of trend lines. We've got the uptrend with higher highs and higher lows. We've got the downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. And importantly, we've got the sideways trend where our price is trending in a range. And this is important because a lot of the times the market is just trending in a range, consolidating. Now let's look at some examples. So this is from Monday, October 7th. This is the start of the New York session. And I've already drawn a trend line. You can see it touching a lot of the bottom points. So when we're on an uptrend, we draw the trend line at the bottom of the candles. When we're on a downtrend, we draw the trend lines at the tops of the candles. So you might ask, do you draw it on the wicks, on the tops of the wicks or the bottoms of the wicks, or do you draw it on the candle bodies? I draw it wherever it makes most sense. So here we've got bottom of a bottom candle, and we've got some wicks poking through. It's okay for wicks to poke through. I got some more wicks there, the bottoms of the candles there. So I just try to get a lot of touches. That's what I try to do. And then it crosses here and starts going down. How do I know that? Well, one of the clues is the color of the Nebula candles goes from green to red. And if you look at the squeeze momentum, often you'll see a change. Either it starts heading down or it crosses, and you can see right here, this is where it crosses from bullish to bearish. And we stay on that bearish wall. Now it pulls back, and we can actually see on this momentum, it pulls back here as well. But it doesn't cross that trend line. Now the trend line was defined by these tops of these candles here, and it continues down. It breaks through briefly, but we don't make decisions in the middle of a candle. Let the candle close before we start deciding whether the trend line was broken or not, and it drops back down. And so how do we know when the trend is truly broken? Well, it's a little bit subjective, but I like to compare it with the oscillators down here. So again, the squeeze momentum went above the midline here. So this is saying that we're on an uptrend, but it started earlier. We could have said that, right here, we got some buy volume, the sell volume dropped, the buy volume coming in. LRS even said we're going up as well. So this seems like a good place to say we're going up, where the downtrend is broken. However, this is very short, this uptrend, before it starts dropping down again. You can see some big sell volume coming in. LRS agrees. It chopped a little bit in the middle there, and we're on a downtrend until we start going up again. How do we know we're on an uptrend? Well, again, candle color change from the red to the green, and squeeze momentum agrees. We're going up, and we got the buy volume coming in. LRS agrees too. So we're clearly on an uptrend now. And this sort of thing carries on. We go from the green color to the red color. This is changing. Well, you could say, you can see it coming down already. It passes through the midline of the squeeze momentum there. We can see some sell volume picking up. And this one stays on for a while. So notice I didn't actually make the trend line touch over here. I used to, when I first drew it, it looked more like this. But then as the trend continued, I updated it. So I wanted more points of touch. So here was a clear point of touch, and then this one was a clear point of touch, but then this one was a little bit higher. So that's the next thing we're going to talk about, because I can keep showing you examples, but you get the idea. The next thing I want to show you is how do we draw them live. So let's try to simulate that. Okay, we're looking at a new day now. This is Monday, October 21st. This is the start of the New York session. And I'm going to use the replay feature of TradingView to simulate drawing trend lines in real time. You guys don't want to actually watch me do this in real time because it's too slow. The candles will only appear every minute. But instead, using the replay, every time I tap this button, I can fast forward one candle. And I like hotkeys, so instead of tapping the button, I'm going to press Shift right arrow. So we can see the price moving. Every vertical line here is 10 minutes. So I'm going to fast forward until 10 a.m. I don't like to trade the first half hour. Too much chop. Price goes down, up, down. Very easy to get stopped up. So I'm just going to fast forward. Now we're at 10 a.m. I'm going to start drawing trend lines. First, see the pivot point standard line right in the middle. That's the basis. This is the first resistance line. We'll keep that in mind as we go. So this is the trend line tool. Tap that. Tap again. We're going to adjust a little bit. There we go. We got our first trend line. I like to use hotkeys, as I said. So I use Option T on my Mac. It's probably Control T on your Windows PC. So let's walk the price ahead and see how price respects our trend line. Oh, jumped up there for a moment, but then came back down. So often when we see price jump up to the trend line, that's a good entry, a good safe entry. Oh, but now we got some buy volume, more buy volume. That might be the end of our downtrend right there. So we see some buy volume. LRS looks like it's going up. Squeeze momentum is going up. So I'm going to draw a new trend line right here. So we're going up. Let's see how far up we go. Oh, maybe not very far. Looks like our buy volume is dropping. Yes, that's the end. So this is a very brief uptrend. We could draw it like that. Price broke through last candle with some squeeze momentum shows us. LRS is showing we're going down. So if you had that a long open, you want to close that. So now we're heading down. So what's the next downtrend line going to look like? Well, we don't know yet, but I'm going to draw a trend line like that. Usually the trend lines are between 30 and 60 degrees. But we'll start with that. Let's walk ahead. So if I drew it the way it is now, it's probably too steep. But we'll draw it like that just to see. So we've got some Nebula showing us these are good entries. This price pulls back to the trend line. Even without a candle, you can see pulling back to the trend line. Now, notice squeeze momentum. Thinks something's happening. Might be going up. LRS is thinking that too. Got some buy volume coming in. Something's happened. Is this a big pullback, or is this just a reversal? So we can draw our trend line like that, and we could draw a new trend line going up. However, I don't think this is going to be an uptrend. Why? Well, we've got squeeze momentum showing going up, but we haven't crossed that midline yet. So this could just be a big pullback. Boom. Looks like a big pullback. Big drop down, a lot of sell volume there. Yes. So instead, I'm not going to draw this as an uptrend. I think this is just part of our downtrend. Like that. So sometimes you do that. You don't go too quick to change the trend just like it was going, because we didn't get enough indication on our oscillators there. The candle color changed from red just very briefly to green, but we don't make our decisions based on one candle. Let's wait a candle or two. And now we're going down. Down, we've got some good sell volume. Oh, some empty candles though. Are we slowing down? No. There we go with some more good sell volume. Nebula says might be a good entry. Last candle to go short. Oh, there's some check marks though. Check mark tells us it might be the end of the trend. But no, it keeps going. So don't decide too quick. Look for confluence. We didn't break up through the trend line. We're still going down. Oh, but now we got some empty candles, and notice the outlines changing to blue. Got a little bit of buy volume. Squeeze momentum looks like it's going up. LRS agrees. That might be the end of our trend line too. So we can change our trend lines based on the inclines as well. So I'm going to just end that one there, and I'm going to draw a new trend line that's steeper to capture this. And that's okay. Our trend lines don't just have to go between up and down. we can change how steep our trend lines are. Like that. So let's see. That was a pullback to the trend line, but we're still going down. So we want lots of touch points on our trend line. Did that as well. So that was an excellent downtrend. You make a lot of money on that downtrend. And it's hard to tell in these candles, but often the price is pulling back to the trend line, down, pulling back to the trend line, back to the trend line. However, it looks like we've got these empty candles here. We've got some buy volume coming in. LRS is kind of gray, thinking it might be going back up. Yes, that was the end of our trend line. So let's draw a new trend line. I'm just going to put it here. It's not going to be exactly like that, just it's a placeholder. So now we're going up. How far are we going up? Good buy volume. We've got these check marks though, saying it might be the end of the trend. So I'm going to update this a little bit to match the incline better. Just like driving a car, you got to keep your hands on the steering wheel. You got to adjust it as you go. You want to stay in the lines, go around the potholes. That pulled back to the trend line nicely. Price popped up again. Uptrend looking good so far. Is it a pullback or are we reversing? We got the buy volumes dropping. Squeeze momentum shows are going down. Even though we were going up, it looks like it's going down here. Boom. That's the end of the trend. So I'm going to update that like that. I'm going to draw a new trend line because it's only one candle, but we're probably going down. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's consolidating. Maybe we're going to range. Oh, boom. There we go. We got some more sell volume. You get the idea. I think we're going to range here. The volume is below the dead zone line. See this pivot point standard line right there? Looks like price is having trouble breaking through that. Yeah, you get the idea. Use the trend lines, trust the trend. The trend is your friend. Good luck.